This is the door which really badly needs, I would say, a restoration. We have all the oil paint on it. I really, on this part, I did try a latex paint over it. I will show you how much damage there is. It is quite in bad shape, but not impossible. I recently changed these because I planned them to put them on the door when everything is done, and it will look like this. This door here was in similar shape like that one which I did show you right now, and you can see here that after everything is done, really hard work, it looks like this. So I guess we can start with this. If you want to learn how to fix your old door with old oil paint on it without removing it completely, with water damage on it and every possible physical and emotional damage, this is video for you. Okay, here we are. So to start preparation, remove all the metal parts which can be removed. I will start sanding with 120 grit. A quick tip, you don't want to overdo it. Basically, you can see here this white part, it is where it is sanded, and full yellow color is not sanded. So you just want to remove that top coat of the color, and in this process, when the door is in bad condition like this, I want to prepare the surface for filler to fix these imperfections, damage, and so on. Hello, cat. Sand with sander everything what you can. What is left, like this part here, and depending of shape of your door, do it manually. You don't want to do a damage to the wood with sander on the edges and parts like that. Here, damaged parts like this, you want to fill with wood filler, and I will start. That is probably worst part of this job, of this restoration. But keep in mind, if you don't have damage on your door, when you sand it with like 120, 180, 240 grit, you're basically done and prepared for the painting. But in this case, you need to fix all the damage on the door, and that is only the beginning. Okay, we are nearly done with preparation. As you can see, it looks really ugly at this point, but you want to have enough of putty, so when there is a lot of damage like this, when you use grit, you have enough material to remove. If there is more of kit applied, it is better to have it more, because when you remove it, there is a less chance that you will need to reapply again. So that's why it looks catastrophic like this, and there is a lot. But for me it is easier when I start using grit to just remove excess and not reapply again. A friendly advice, this body filler is a pure poison, so always use a protective mask, because if you don't, you will suffer a lot, trust me. I am not recording how I am applying a car filler, because it is quite tricky when there is too much parts missing on the object which you want to reconstruct. But my friendly advice, if you're not in a hurry, it is always best to apply few times in smaller batches, because it is a lot easier. You see here it is still soft, and it is hard to get that perfect finish, and if you do in smaller batches, you can just apply how much you can and then add later. But since I'm in hurry, I don't have time to do that, so I will wait for this second side to cure, and it's already getting dark to work, so I will just continue the next day. A new day, everything is ready for sanding. I will use a 60 grit for rough sanding, and after that I will do like 240, something like that. The initial rough sanding is done, but you can see that there is a lot of imperfections, which I plan to fill in with acrylic wood filler. There is a lot of spots like this which needs to be addressed if you want perfection. If you don't want, it is not quite important, but if you're already at this point, you should do it. When you're at this point that you want to do a final sanding finish, if you want to be smooth without bumps, and if you don't want to just burn in through the filler, you want to use around 180 or more fine sanding paper, and you want to do it manually, because if you do like that, you will reduce the chance to just destroy the filler and go through it. This is a small trick which I learned. You want to insert the lock inside the designed area, and in these parts you put a wood filler and clean it as much as you can and pull it out. In that way you will get a nearly perfect cutout for the lock. Of course, you can sand the excess when the wood filler dries out. It will save you a lot of time when you start painting, because there won't be a need to use a wood filler at that point of time. After final sanding with fine grit, it is really smooth. There were few low spots which I filled in. This is also super smooth, and everything is nearly ready for painting, at least this side. You're done with sanding when you go with your hand and everything feels super smooth, without bumps, without anything. That means that surface is ready for sanding. This is a second side. I have this part to finish, small bumps to fill in with wood filler, and sand this part here, and that will be a perfect finish for first coat of paint. This needs to be fixed. There is always a spot missing when you start, so in this case I have it here. This bump, I need to fix that, and you always have some high spots, low spots, which you need to sand. Really daunting job, so keep that in mind before you start. Everything you miss, it will be highly visible in the end product. This side is ready for painting. I did a final wipe clean with cleaning solution for windows. It is good enough. I did steam clean this glass, and as I don't have time to, there are these small glass pockets here which needs to be cleaned manually. I will just take them off and do paint job, and after that, when I mount the door in my apartment, I will clean these. After that, it is not that much important at this point. I'm still waiting this quick fix here to dry out so I can sand it and clean that other side and start finally. I hope for the first layer this evening and see how it looks. And hopefully this evening I will finally start painting first layer, and we will see how it looks. This is the first layer. Looks really nice at this point. I'm halfway on the first side. I'm using water paint over oil paint, as you probably know by now, but just to mention if someone is skipping. This is unpainted. This is unpainted side. The weather is not on my side. It's raining all day, so I'm unable to do this work outside. So visibility is bad here, but this is the second layer, and everything looks really nice at this point. I will flip the door and do a second side, and hopefully soon it will be done. I flipped the door and you can see the second layer on this side. Really looks nice. Beautiful shine. This is how the door looks after 3 layers of water-based paint. Ignore the glass. I had the problem with the edges. I need to silicone this, and it was better if I did this at the beginning. I need to silicone the edges and repaint over them. I will do that at home because here it's cold and it's cracking a lot, as you can see. I'm gonna fix that, but overall finish is really nice. The door looks really like brand new, but ignore this dirty glass. It really isn't representative as it should. You remember those bad bottoms? It's like brand new. I'm really satisfied with work, and remember, always preparation is half of the work. This is the final result, and I must say I'm more than satisfied. The gloss is beautiful. There is a bit of orange peel, but that is normal for a water-based color. Everything fits perfectly. The door handle is beautiful, the brand new one which I got. Really amazing. The biggest problem which I had is with these edges around the glass. I managed to use water-based silicone and just dilute it with the water and paint the edges, which now have this. They now cover those imperfections, and I painted them. I also plan when I have time to use masking tape and do one more glossy coat with the paint. Overall, this is it. I'm really satisfied. You probably can see how it looked originally. It was really bad without bottom right edge. Everything was cracked. You've seen in the video how much attention I gave to finishing everything, and still I have some spots which I missed. Not that much bad, but still So if you want to restore your old door, this is overall process what you need to do. Please consider subscribing and liking this video if you have any question regarding the process or any suggestion how it can be done better. Don't hesitate to leave it down below. And until next time, see ya.